in it. I mean, you see him, but he does nothing. Luna, which I thought was a great character, they kind of leave her to the wayside, but.
Well, she seemed really stoned this movie, too.
Well, you know what, and that's the
few times she was on camera, it was like, wow, she's really having a hard time with her lines.
And you know what,
she's actually really accurate. That's very accurate to the way the character's written.
And she's cool. I love that character. I mean, out of all the female characters, she's my favorite.
Because she's the only one that's not psycho.
I guess not, but hey, I love Luna. Luna is awesome to me. But did you guys notice?
Co-host is you're gonna be a picture of that actress and co-host with a yellow flower, with a yellow rose trying to
that
hand
will
it to
be
her.
me.
Trying to give it to her. She's like casting his ass a spell to get off of him.
Actually, no, it's her father following behind his 14-year-old daughter, about to beat the crap out of a robot.
I want to see her wear that Lions hat though.
Yeah, her dad is like patrolling motherfucker.
Ah. Oh, but
it's
was
going
it
into
me?
creepy zone. You want to talk about how hot Dakota Fanning is now?
Oh no, but I know you wrote a blog about it. Oh, no. Anyway,
Wait, you don't have to do your own O?
Hey, I do. Hey, I know you guys aren't going to do it, so I might as well get it started.
Your insult has to be evaluated, and then the council decides on whether it gets an O or not.
No, I decided my world.
He brought his
friend.
own rim shot too.
That's right.
Oh, well, let him keep that to himself.
Calm down there.
hey.
Hey, but was
Family
it me, or did you guys notice that it seemed like half these actors, well, not the actors, but the characters in the film, whenever they had a love potion or a potion to make them feel lucky or like, just whatever potion they were using, and they drink these potions, it's like these kids just were fucked up. They were drunk. I was waiting for somebody like to pull out the wand and go Expectro Patron, and just everyone, all the glasses just get filled up with shots. And people drink them to accomplish whatever mission, and just get fucked up.
I would be going to that school.
You did.
I
Everyone
noticed
seemed
that,
fucked up,
but I liked that because
it was cool. No,
I mean, well, we're talking about teenagers here, and this is one of those things that you can't broach in a book like this, especially one that's being picked up by kids. But you can broach it in another way. It's kind of like the whole Alice in Wonderland thing. It's like, oh, eat me, drink me, da da da. When you grow up, you're like, wow, this story's pretty fucked up. Yeah. When you look at you look at this Harry Potter book, this is about kids experimenting with sex and drugs and alcohol.
Yeah, it is.
And I mean, even to the point to where they're drinking this butterbeer stuff, but they're also at points being offered champagne and wine.
Oh yeah.
I was curious what the alcohol content of this butterbeer is.
But then again, keep in mind that
but
this
still,
is
I mean, even for like the very
drink at
first
that age.
movie,
Start over again?
Oh, in the very first movie, when they're 8 years old, they're going into pubs and drinking butterbeer.
Damn.
Isn't that like the legal age in London anyway? Like 8?
Yeah, I know. It's like
Well, I know it's in Ireland.
legal age of something.
Yeah.
No, wait. In Ireland, I think it's 4 years old.
Because there was one scene where I was laughing at all this the hormonal stuff until like Ron Weasley actually almost raped Harry Potter. He's like Harry Potter made like an attraction spell, and it worked a little bit too good because Harry Potter was like, it works, and Ron Weasley like, yeah, motherfucker, it worked real good.
My favorite part was actually the very awkward, we're almost going to admit we're gay for each other scene when they're both lying in bed and they're awkwardly talking about the girls they have feelings for, but they seem to have trouble talking about girls. And it's kind of like, this is a little too awkward, like especially for two lifelong friends to be sitting there going, dude, I really dig the shit out of this
But
girl.
you know something?
I really, she, I want your wand.
Yeah.
Did I say that?
I started to get worried when they were talking about the girl's skin. It's like, yeah, she has really nice skin. And I'm like, what?
So what's Harry supposed to say? Yeah, dude, I really want to fuck your sister.
I mean, no.
Like you've never said that to a guy.
But you know something?
Nah.
That is actually one of the great things about this movie. I mean, it's all done with subtle metaphor for like teenage angst and experimentation, and that's where the movie's clever. I think it's almost misplaced cleverness for me because that is where they put a lot of thought into the story instead of what really matters.
Well, because the plot is subtle too.
Yeah, and that's
you blink and you'll miss it.
Well, yeah, it'll fly hiding behind a bush somewhere or something. But it's no, because somebody told me, they said,
Always
you know
about
something.
bush with you.
Yeah, of course. What are you talking about? No, they said in the book there's a huge climax that almost destroys this castle, and we don't see that.
No, not at all.
The movie ends in a whimper,
Yeah.
and for me, I was like, I can understand that if they meant like, okay, this is something that's meant just as a cliffhanger to go on to the next film, but still, it needs to work as a self-contained movie too.
But I tell you what.
Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead. You haven't really said that much. Go ahead.
Well, I was waiting for you guys to get done because I read the book, and of all those books in the series, it's my least favorite for a lot of the reasons you guys have mentioned, especially Carlisle, how it's mostly a setup. And reading the book, it seems like for 75% of it, most of it deals with the relationship back and forth. And I didn't mind it because it's kind of interesting if you've been following these characters. But then the last 25%, it's all this plot, all this big shit happens. And I was like, man, I wish it had been paced out better. Mm-hmm. Now, as a movie watching it, it almost to me was kind of the Empire Strikes Back of these Harry Potter movies because it is in the middle and it's all about the bad guys, pretty much win, and it's setting you up for the big climax that's coming later.
Did you just spoil something for us?
Ain't nobody spoiled nothing.
I'm just waiting for him to zap your ass. Yeah. You can see Leon. He's like, I'm getting tired of this shit.
But there's so much about it that I really, really liked. I mean, to me, the third one is always probably going to be the best movie because it is self-contained, and it's such a great movie adaptation. But to me, this was a great adaptation of that book, a book that I thought was just kind of They made it so much better than it was. But visually, it was everything I imagined when I read it. And I guess I'm different from you guys. Maybe because I have the backstory and I'm not thinking about it. But I just thought he did a really good job. I thought he did a much better job with this one than with the last one. Because with the last one, there were so many things taken out of it. I was like, wow, I'm surprised anybody can understand it.
Except that the last one was the best of the series.
Yeah,
thus far. For those of us that haven't read the books,
I don't agree with that at all.
Just so much happens, and it all builds perfectly in perfect progression.
But funny enough,
you're like, fuck yeah.
That book in the series is my favorite. But just the movie, I thought kind of fell short.
Well, the third one and the last one have always been my favorites, only because so much happened at the end of that last film to where it builds up so much. You're hoping that with this new film, it gets more into that, and it doesn't. It really doesn't progress the story along with the characters that you're hanging out with in that last film.
I guess my point is that, like, the things you have against the movie, really, I mean, these movies are tied to the books. I mean, as much as you would love for them to go off and do their own thing, I can't imagine what they could have done, like to do what Quran did to stray from the movie and yet still keep the movie. I mean, stray from the book but still keep the book. I don't know how this could have strayed enough to make it, to give it that ending that you wanted, that it needed. I agree with you. But it would have been impossible to be true to it and true to the true fans who make this what it is and please everybody. But I thought he did as good a job as humanly possible.
Well, you know what? This is one of those strange occasions where I can't agree with you on everything you say, but I'm glad you feel the way you do because just given the history of this film series and where it could potentially go, I'm rooting for it. Still, I just can't be on that level with you on this film.
Yeah, I enjoyed it, but it I don't know. I guess because it's a summer film, I think that's where it's gonna fail. Only because I was expecting somewhat of a bigger film, like just more stuff to be going on, and I think this film probably could have worked better if it was released during Christmas. Because
I think wasn't it supposed to be released during?
It's supposed to be released last November.
Last November, and it got pushed back.
And it would have been better. You're right. It doesn't
because
have a summer
you're
movie
waiting,
ending, because it's a downer.
Yeah, the audience is very much the audience going in there. It felt like, okay, here's hopefully another. Well, something better than Transformers,
right.
But
maybe another
an
Star
event
Trek.
film. But it wasn't. It was a very subtle film. It was beautifully shot, beautifully acted. Yeah. Just when you're walking out of it, it just leaves you kind of like hanging like.
The other thing is that it's not another thing. It's like I think the only thing that really can make this work as a summer movie, I think little kids, even though I was bored in some parts, I think little kids are going to just find this whole thing enchanting because. The movie is filled, and this is what I love about these Harry Potter films as far as special effects. The background is just full of special effects and little sight things going on.
Subtle things.
Except this film, really, that was one of my problems with it.
Really?
Watching it was so lacking. I mean, we have the ever-present floating candles, which they have the effect from 6 movies back. But we really don't see any of the portraits. We don't see any of the staircases. We don't see any of the ghosts.
Well,
we don't see anything magical about the castle at all. They're just wandering through a castle.
I just thought about this. When we started, I don't think I even heard the Harry Potter music at all.
No, it's in the very beginning.
Yeah.
It's just a few notes and that's it.
Yeah, but I was like, what happened to the Harry Potter?
It's almost
theme song?
like it's going like, okay, look, you've been through this already. We don't need to keep repeating.
But you know what? I want to be reminded though because I mean,
but you know what?
That's why we watch.
It's like it's like a a Star Wars film without the big Star Wars music. At the
Honestly,
beginning,
with those Star Wars movies, I'm like, okay, enough with the wipe already. It's kind of amateurish.
Well, you know something? I agree with you in that. As far as like the staircases, and we've seen all those things.
Yeah.
They gave us new things. Like this is the stuff I'm talking about. These special effects blend so well with the actors who are great. Playing within this atmosphere. They go to a magic store where the environment is just swirling with merchandise that's alive. You got dragons who come down and heat up the almonds at an almond stand. And I mean, it's little things like that happen. I think that kids will just look at it and be like, wow, I love this world.
Yeah, but I have to say, all that does happen at the first quarter of the film. And honestly, you made a good point, Carlisle. Towards the end, I noticed, it seemed very vacant. I mean, the film felt very cold. I don't know if that was just the mood because of what they were building up to in the film. But it did seem kind of bittersweet. I mean, as far as the movie was progressing.
And I didn't even need it to be like in my face.
Right.
But just seeing some of that stuff in the background, we don't even see it this time. There's just not a lot of the magic there. It just feels like they're walking around a castle set.
You know something? Now that I think about it, and both of you are right, like it is at the beginning while this is happening. The more you go on, the emptier it starts to get, which it should be the other way around. I
don't know. I think it adds to the mood for what it's leading up to.
I agree with you. It did add to the mood because it seemed like a dread was coming.
I mean, before
a sense of dread,
it starts out like, hey man, this is fun, and the more it's going, it's like this ain't kids games.
But
no
at
more.
the same time, this movie had the big problem that Phantom Menace did. It didn't have.
How dare you?
It didn't have a big villain at the end. I mean, like I said. You see the so-called Death Eaters, but you don't see like the main bad guy to where this is all coming to a head with the big climax. You just don't really feel that or get that.
When did fucking Sabretooth join the Harry Potter?
I know. I was like, yeah.
I mean, I understand that Liv Schreiber put you out of a job, but did you have to go to Harry Potter?
That guy just appeared out of nowhere, and I'm like,
and he does the same thing every villain does. Like he pops up and he has to snap that neck.
Yeah.
Hey man, Harry Potter has always borrowed villains from other movies.
But
I mean, that spider from Lord of the Rings was in there.
Hey, you don't talk bad about Shlomo.
But you know something? Look, I have to say, I'll go ahead and start wrapping up ratings now. I mean, I really do respect this movie. Like I said, for a summer film, and it wasn't intended to be a summer film in the beginning anyway. It is heads and shoulders above a lot of stuff that we see. It has integrity in its filmmaking. Unfortunately, I would love to give it more credit for that, but it just lacks in the main place, which is the script for me. So I'm gonna have to give it a matinee. But like I said, I'm still behind this movie.
Wow.
Yeah, I'll keep mine short and sweet. High matinee. The visual style is incredible. The acting it's great. The direction I enjoyed, but there's just a lot of problems with the pacing of the film. It felt disjointed, and I think it somewhat failed on that level as far as just keeping my interest. But yeah, high matinee.
Good movie, mediocre Harry Potter film. I give it a matinee.
Dang, all these matinees. I guess I should join in. Except I absolutely love this movie. It's almost my favorite, and just that from a book that I thought was going to be hard to pull off. Yeah, it was, but it did much better. I think this is going to be one of those movies that you guys will come back to look. Right now, you have expectations of how it should be structured. I think you'll come back and watch it later on video. And as it plays out the way it does, you'll like it better.
Well,
but for me, it's a full price
pussy.
movie.
Maybe it will make more sense once we watch Deathly Hallows, and that sets up watching this, and it's like, oh, this led to that, and this led to that. I see where this all sets up. But right now, looking at it, we're just kind of like, and someone brought up Empire Strikes Back. I think you did.
Yeah, I did.
And I have to. I mean, I felt that. In fact, I was like, wow, they're going for Empire Strikes Back here. Except you don't have that Han moment where you have one of the main characters that you've loved for so long and who's literally one of the main central characters. Not a side character, not a major back character, not Obi-Wan Kenobi or Darth Vader or anyone like that. It's, Han Solo gets taken out and it's like, whoa.
And there's
shit,
a huge
a
huge reveal that you don't get in this.
Well, shit, man. I didn't say it was a remake of
No,
Empire Strikes Back.
I know,
but you got to be careful how you choose your words.
Like Carlisle was saying, I was really disappointed Darth Vader didn't come out and say, Potter, I'm your father.
In my life, I've seen things that are truly horrific. Now I know you will see worse.